At the belt line. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Get a close-up. This is Dot Moore's book. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. You know, Dot, if you ever release another edition, I'll be glad to write a foreword in this book because I've read it and I enjoy it. Now, you're going to be, where can we get signed copies? You're going to be signing
You know you're
these.
covering up your face with the tour.
They tell me to do that.
They do.
You're going to be doing a book signing tour?
Yes, I am going to at Bookland in the Bel Air Mall. That's a week from tomorrow on the 27th from 2 to 4. And I hope a lot of people will come by and chat with me. And, of course, buy the book. That would be nice, too. I wanted to ask you something. Do you realize you have much more going than I ever had on television? You have a live audience. You have telephone calls. You have 3 cameras, for crying out loud, and you just got it. Did you design your own set?
No, ma'am, I did not.
You have unique taste, very unique.
I admire the people that did, but I'll tell you, the one thing that we have in common is I read in here that the first show you did, they paid you $5 a day. And I just want to let you know that the industry has not changed. It has not changed.
Wasn't that? I checked. Biloxi, Pensacola, and the other station. They all paid $5. They were united, completely united. Can you believe it?
I hope you're getting a little more now, Dot. Okay, Dot Moore has brought us some video that kind of, well, you can set it up, Dot. What are we going to see?
Kind of a few of the highlights of the book. And Leif Erikson, the actor that was Big John on the Hot Chaparral, is the Hollywood actor that was in Pensacola, saw me on the tube, contacted me, and really made some things happen for me on the West Coast. And we're going to head it up the tape with a promo that he did for me on my show. And then a few highlights.
Let's see it.
12 to 12:30 every day of the week here on WALA Channel 10. And you can make that kind of a package along, I hope, with High Chaparral, 6:30, Friday nights, Channel 10, WALA Mobile. And we sure will appreciate it.
This film was shot in location in Tucson, Arizona, where the series The High Chaparral was shot. That's Big John giving me a kiss. And there were tourists on the set that day, and here Leif Erikson is autographing for some of them, along with me. This shot was taken when I went up on the high wire with the Walenda family. And here I was working with Ringling Brothers Circus Elephants as Master of Ceremonies. The U.S. Marine Corps invited me to participate in a 50-foot drop operation at the State Fair for charity. Here I'm talking with Tom Brokaw in Los Angeles, the year he got the Today Show. Can come up, but basically you are a journalist, and it gives you that that opportunity as well. So I think it's great. Your co-host, Jane Pauley, is just married, and that's one of the things that's happened since the last time I saw you and interviewed her.
Married Gary Trudeau,
yeah,
creator of Doonesbury. Met at our dinner table.
So now she's Jane Trudeau.
Well,
Jane Pauley Trudeau.
Well, let me tell you something.
Her name's not Margaret, is it?
It is.
Is it?
Her real name is Margaret Jane
I didn't
Pauley,
know that, Tom.
So she is officially Margaret Trudeau.
I had no idea. When in Hollywood, I had the pleasure of talking with Richard Chamberlain about his successful miniseries, Shogun. Consecutive nights, I understand. Is that right?
Starting September 14th.
Okay. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Richard.
Well, thank you.
And that's on NBC, of course, and Channel 10, Shogun, starring Richard Chamberlain. I enjoyed my visit with Barbara Eden, a beautiful lady in Hollywood, California. Never say child.
I say their child, but they don't say their child.
They're the teacher very often.
Oh, my Lord.
Indeed.
Oh, my. Yes. All right. I get out all the books and read and look and say, now, what did I do wrong this time?
You're doing
How should
well.
I have phrased that, you know?
It's a challenge, really, to parents in the world today, and I think they can certainly relate to the things that will happen to you when we see you next in Harper Valley.
Oh, I hope so.
We're looking forward to that. And here's Willard Scott giving me an earful in New York. course, is a tremendous voice.
Oh, radio voice.
Oh, great voice.
Hello there.
But tell me about the Joy Boys. I understand you were part of a group called the, what was that, DJs?
Yeah, I went to college at American University in 1951. I met a fellow named Eddie Walker, and Eddie was a year ahead of me and happened to be blind. Born blind.
Oh.
And Eddie's big thing in life was radio. Well, I'd worked in radio off and on. I used to hang around the station when I was 8, 9, 10, and 11, and then actually got a page job at NBC when I was 15. But Eddie and I met. I was 18. I think Eddie was 19. And we immediately became friends, and we said that we like to do, you know, college kids, silly things, announcements. We did humorous skits. We thought they were humorous. And we got a little show on Sunday night called Going AWOL. The station was WOL, so that was pretty clever stuff.
So there you had a little program going all your own that you conceived yourselves.
And then we took that show about a year later to WRC, the NBC in Washington radio station. We called it the Joy Boys. And we were on for 22 years, and we did satire, sort of like Bob and Ray, only with... we had engineers. We had 2 sound effects engineers and 1 studio engineer and an audience. And we were on 5 days a week, but the audience came in every Friday, and we did a show before a live radio audience. It was one of the biggest kicks.
So you've always been sort of fun-based with the shows and the things that you've done.
Everything has been light. I did. I worked with Kermit the Frog when Kermit and the Muppets first started. They started
Really?
at WRC in Washington.
Oh, great.
Jimmy Henson was a University of Maryland student, and I was Kermit's sidekick.
Oh, he's
feed him peanut
grown
butter.
to heights that he could never have dreamed of.
Well, that's some kind of a career.
Yeah, very impressive.
Do you have a favorite interview?
Well, I enjoyed several out there. Of course, I enjoyed Life Erickson, interviewing him because I knew him so well. He really was my mentor in a way. I'll tell you about my unfavorite interview was Rock Hudson. It's a very dull interview, really, and I'd heard that before, and that's true. As to a favorite, Claude Akins is one favorite because he talks freely and is very friendly and very warm, and I'd worked with him a little bit on film too. It's hard to pick a favorite, really, you know. Richard Chamberlain, and I'll tell you, I guess I will say my favorite might be Tony Randall.
Was there anybody that was downright mean to you?
Not really, but sort of maybe not interested in being interviewed by anyone. There are a few, but the bigger the star, usually, especially the seasoned star, like Bob Hope, I worked with him about 5 different times, and they are not that way, and they're very happy, you know, to do it because it's good for them. But I wanted to tell you that since I started out making $5 a day at Channel 10, I've progressed a little bit. I have 2 bosses now, one clean-shaven and one with a beard. I work with Dave Cochran, our news director, on some news, moments in Mobile history. And then, of course, Joe Cook. So I guess I've progressed a little bit through the years.
I think you have. I want to thank those guys at 10 for letting you come on tonight, and I want to remind everybody about your book.
Yes.
Before this segment is over, this is Stay Tuned. I'll be right back. You're going to be signing copies in Bookland in the mall a week from tomorrow?
A week from tomorrow, on the 27th, Saturday, 2 to 4. Yes, indeed.
Well, Dot Moore, thank you very much for coming on the show.
My pleasure.
We
I've
appreciate
enjoyed it.
It was intensely pleasurable.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you very much.
You've got to be a cult figure. You know that, don't you?
Well, I'm not. I don't believe in cults.
You know,
Anyway, listen, we're sponsored by Expressway Carpet Sales on Cottage Hill Road and Miller High Life Long Necks. When we come back, we're going to talk to some extremely young people in the audience. Take the break. We'll be right back.